participation, where we're going to do an internet checkup on a few lucky participants in the room. And I'm going to see if I can get authorization from somebody back there, Kuba maybe, to give out free t-shirts for those that want to play. But yeah, nice. The internet physicals, if you will. There'll be some turning your head, there's going to be some coughing, but I think it'll all be for the better. And then third, we're going to talk about the top 10 takeaways. So this is what Jeff and I are hoping to give you guys today is actually action items. This is something that you can do, that you can take back to your business, that you can work on while you're here in the room. You can work on at your hotel room, on the airplane home, because it is something that we have worked on very, very hard for the last, well, we'll get into the history. So I have some top 10 takeaways that we're going to give you at the end, but let's get after it. So my name is Sexton, and I am the Director of Internet Marketing.
Hey, my mic worked.
Hey, Jeff, you're there. Nice.
Phil is my Director of Internet Marketing, and for those of you that may not have an Internet Director of Marketing, I brought him because he's the best there is. So.
Well, you're kind. I mean, he only says that when we're on stage. I mean, thank you.
An intro.
Yes, no. So the Sibbach team is licensed out of the North Scottsdale Realty One Group office. Yeah, where are my Arizona people? Wow. Where are my Nevada people? Where are my Arizona people? Oh, I don't want to get any further. I got the result I was
Somebody
hoping
said
for.
don't dance on stage.
That's because you dance with your elbows. All right. So Jeff and I partnered up, let's see, last year we did 238 transactions for $106 million. But my story with the internet starts back in 2006. I actually got a job working at the family real estate brokerage. And I was the
Son of a broker.
Yeah, I was an SOB, right? Dad was the broker, and I was the token young guy that had a desk in the office, which meant that it was early in my career that I was the victim of age discrimination. And people would walk into the office and they'd walk up to me and they'd say, hey, Phil, I got a notice on my BlackBerry that I got a text message. How do I find them?
Phil, you just look like the guy that might be able to figure it out faster than they could.
Yeah, how do I get email to show up on my BlackBerry Pearl, right? Or I just got rid of my Razor. Remember the Razors? Those were cool then, right? And so I was never into technology before I worked there. I was a car guy. I enjoyed going and racing with friends in the Baja 500. I thought that MySpace and Facebook was all geeky stuff. But as I sat there and these same questions kept coming over and over again, I thought, well, let's start to research it. Let's get the answers. And what it turned in, I mean, as the questions started to repeat themselves, then I started to go on office meetings with Jimbo, the broker. Jimbo, are you still in the room? Oh, JJ, Jimmy the Tulip, a.k.a. Dad, right? So we would go on broker meetings together around the state, or around the Phoenix metropolitan area, and when we go to Scottsdale, there was another young guy, I mean, it was 10 years ago, right? You were young then.
He likes to take pop shots as much as he can.
There was another young guy in the room, and he and I would end up having a discussion where if I was talking about Jing, for example, a tool that lets you take a picture of a screen, and he would say, hey, I used that. He would come back the next meeting and say, I applied that, or I changed my LinkedIn profile, or I signed up for Twitter, and here's how it helped, and here's how it didn't help, and as him and I would have these conversations, the rest of the room just kind of got to be a part of that conversation, right? And that was
I
my
still
first.
love Jing. I still use it. I use it. I mean, those that are not aware of the tool Jing out there, it's the best tool you can use to explain comps to a buyer and make comparisons. Check it out. It's pretty awesome. Just Google it.
Yeah, so that's just a little bit about where we got, and that was 2006. That started
So what you said
4 years ago.
What you were saying is that we'd be at the Scottsdale meeting, you'd be talking up front, you'd tell us what to do, I'd go home and try it.
There was one guy. You know when you talk to a room, like I hope one person in here goes and does what we're here to discuss. He was the one guy in the meetings then.
Right, so then I would come back the following month, and then I would talk to Phil, and there would be, 40 to 50 people between us. Because Phil would be talking next to his dad, who would talk about the market, but then when Phil talked about technology, everybody just stared like it was like the sun up in the air. And then I'd say, like, hey, Yelp, you know what, I logged in, start selling it on the side first until I could, later on that year, make my big jump into the business. Fast forward, 15 years. Now I'm the leader of the Sibbach team, and I run a successful business. If you look in my ROG, you see my business, right? It's just Jeff Sibbach. But we, under the Sibbach team brand, we coach other agents. We have successfully helped the members of our team, and we let them do their business in their name, and that's separate. But we have team members that have grown their business over 300% since joining the Sibbach team. Actually, if they've been with us for more than a year, the average growth on the Sibbach team from the coaching that we provide for them is over 300%. Pretty good, Phil?
That's okay.
Okay. But the coolest thing is we become a team of teams. So we have now team members underneath us that are, as we love to share. Phil's are you a sharer, Phil?
Yes, supplement.
Yes. Okay. But I'm actually here because I have the #1 home team.
Oh, the home. Are you talking about your wife?
Yes.
She
was
here
supposed
too.
to go shopping, Lynn.
Right?
I love Lynn. She's here. Yeah.
She loves the spotlight, by the way. Can we get a
Camera focus on my wife because she hates this one. Alright, anyway. But my wife of over 17 years helps me do what I do because she takes care of everything at home. Like, I don't have to worry about it. I go home, it's done. And because of that, I can be great at what I do. I have 2 kids. I have a daughter. She just made the Pinnacle High School cheer team as a junior after working her butt off. And it's in my farm, right? So now I get to meet more people, so I'm pretty excited about
I'm
that.
glad some people laugh, because that's very exciting for our business.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's like 14, 18 more families, and then we got the spirit line on the other side, right? Like, that's more people. Hey, we're in a people business, right? So, my son Jackson, unfortunately, I'm not in Arizona, because one of my favorite things to do is to help him chase his dream of becoming to get a scholarship to college for basketball. I'm lucky in life because of those 3. But today, I am here because unlike most coaches in the industry, I hump it every single day. And I have been on 1,000 listing appointments in the past 6 years. And today, we're not going to talk about what I say in listening appointments because that'd be long and boring. We're going to talk about what I did to get those listening appointments. So, does anyone in here interested in a strategy that will get them 50 more listing appointments this year?
That was a lot.
Yeah, it's weird when we ask people if they want listings, they always say yes.
Is anybody in here interested in a strategy that'll get you 50 more buyer leads in a year? Why?
We don't have to leave her office after the appointment when it's a listing.
Right.
Alright.
I like it.
Alright. But
I'm still stuck on the fact you said hump it from stage.
my wife said I can't say the F word, so that's as good as it's gonna get today.
Good.
Okay,
Good.
Alright. There has been a big shift in the world of real estate over the past 5 years. The biggest thing that we've noticed is that my sphere of influence people contact us through our website. Right? Like, I don't go to school. I go to the mall and I see someone I know and I say hi to them and then they go to my website and then they call us through Call Fire because Call Fire John and Ivy bought their house from George Pickett.
He was the buyer's agent.
He was the buyer's agent 15 years ago. So during the process, before they met me, John tells Gina, because John's a super smart guy. I mean, he's really, really intelligent. He tells Gina, contact George Pickett and have him come over and list his house. So Gina, the caretaker,